Hey guys, I wanted to share some more information, I guess on the watercoloring that I've been playing with lately, as well as a haul that I have gotten in the mail today, a couple of days. So again, as you know, I've been kind of trying to better myself at watercoloring, and I told you guys that I purchased this new hot press finish watercolor paper from Fluid 100. This was actually a 9 by 12 pad, and I've cut it down, some of the pages down into smaller sheets, like 4 by 6. They do have a 4 by 6 size, and I found a place not locally but online that sells 15 sheets in a pad, and it's something like $4 and change, I think. So I ordered a couple of sheets so I don't have to, or a couple of pads so I don't have to cut it down, but this will last me probably for a while. I've been really experimenting and trying out different techniques, and I think I found what works for me. And I forgot to get my brushes. One second. Sorry about that, guys. So I've been using this paper. I did try the Arches, and I don't like it as much. Arches is, I guess, a French paper, and I don't like the way that it soaks up the ink. It tends to seem like whatever watercolor medium I use, it soaks up the ink a lot. And this doesn't do that. So I prefer this paper, and it's actually cheaper than the Arches anyway. So good for me and anybody else who wants to try it. So this is archival ink. This used to be when Heidi Swap used to be with Ranger, I believe. So I find that I like this black ink better than I have been with the brown, also archival. So let me just show you why, and I think you'll be able to see the difference. So I showed you this, guys, me practicing my coloring, and this was my, I think, second or third attempt. I've had a lot of attempts, so I've lost count. And this is done with the same paper, with the brown archival ink, using the Zig Clean Color brushes. It's okay, but I think I've gotten the hang of it now. Well, not it, but I've gotten the hang of it a little bit better. And I actually like the Distress ink. Same image. This is a Magnolia Tilda image. And this one is done with Distress ink. The colors that I used are the Festive Berries. I think that's well, I forgot the colors. Broken China and the other light blue color. I can't remember the names now. But anyway, this is all Distress ink that I've used here. And I like the result better. And one thing that I'll give you a tip about is that less water is better. Use less water. And so I don't use my water brushes that I've had. I actually purchased 2 brushes on Amazon, and these were recommended by Sandy Allnock. I actually purchased a size 4 and a size 2. These are natural bristle brushes, and it's this 3000S round black velvet, and I don't remember the brand. It says silver, and I think that's in the name of the brand too. But these are the ones that I did purchase. If you watch Sandy Allnock's videos, when she does her watercoloring, she actually has one that talks about her favorite watercolor brushes, and this is part of the set. So I purchased a 4 and a 2. I don't use the 4 for this kind of coloring because it's too fat. I use the finer one, which is the 2, and just dip into the water as I watercolor. So I think you can see the difference in the images in my coloring. And as I said, I've tried different inks. I've even tried the Inktense. This is done with the Inktense pencils. And Inktense is a little bit different in that if you let it dry, it's permanent. It will not bleed again. So I tried it with that as well. And I might try again just to see if I like it any better. But I noticed a big difference when I did it with the Distress. And maybe it's just me and my practicing getting a little bit better at using less water. You know, so this is Zig Clean Color brushes. This is Distress ink. And then this one is Inktense pencils. All done on the same paper. And I think I used these new brushes and the water doing this one. This one I had an older #2 brush that I had in my stash. And this one as well, I used the same brush. So I've gotten a little bit better, I think. Here's another image that I started. I have not finished it. You'll notice here that this is also Distress ink, but they're different colors of Distress ink. I did use the same vest of berries for the shoes and the hearts. The hair and the face is a different color of ink than on this one. So I think this is Vintage Photo in the hair, and this one is Ground Espresso, I think. I think that's why there's that difference in the hair tone. So anyway, that's a little bit on more on the watercoloring that I've been doing, and I will probably do some more. I will likely do some more since I've invested so much, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this. It's kind of like, you know, with crafting, there's so many different things that you can pick up, and it's not that I feel like I'm great at any particular thing, but I feel like sometimes you master a certain thing that you're doing and you want to find something new, learn something new, and get better at something. And this is kind of my next thing. So the watercoloring is definitely relaxing. Plus, I don't have to necessarily go out to the craft room to do it. I've had to kind of stay in the house for other reasons. So I have been able to do this while I'm doing the other thing that I have to do. So anyway, and it's more like work related. So anyway, what I got in the mail to the haul, right? These are the new Julie Nutting stamps that came out during CHA, and I'm sorry for the glare, so I'll just put it up like this so you can see it. I got all of the stamps that she released for that, that were out, and I got mine at Blue Moon Scrapbooking, and they were, the majority of them were $7.99. I got one for $6.99. And it's Colette. That's the one that, oh, this is the one that was $6.99. So the rest of them are going to be $7.99. I don't use my stamps enough. Oh my God, my Julie Nutting stamps. So you know what? We're going to do a YouTube challenge because I haven't done a challenge in a while. And we're going to do tags. And since this is beach theme, we're going to do a summer one, okay? So anybody who's watching my videos and likes to do these Julie Nutting tags, we're going to do a challenge or a swap or something with the new Julie Nutting stamps. Or actually, not the new ones. You can use the old ones, but we're going to do a beach theme because I love the beach. I actually grew up near the beach, so let me see if I can get that out of the glare. So that's Colette. This one is Gina. She's got a hat. And she comes with a sentiment, but I cannot, for the life of me, show you the sentiment because it's hidden. Something about her heart. Makes her heart sing. I don't know what it is. But she's pretty tall. And you can see here pictures of the ones. The C is Therapy for the Soul. This one is Susie. So they're like in the old time, you know, suits. And then they have these like cover-ups. Really cute. And then this one, which is This Way to the Beach, and this is Betsy. She's got a long skirt. Nobody wears a skirt like that to the beach, do they? It's more like a sarong if it's that long. And then this one is The Beach is My Happy Place. This is Camille. She's wearing kind of that sundress look. And then, and she's pretty big, but there's not one that's really huge in this collection, which is kind of nice. This one is Lila. And she's cute, like a little teenage girl or younger lady. She's got a little cover up too that matches. So I can see doing a lot of things. This says Just Playing in the Sand, so you can tell that this is meant for younger sort of doll. The other thing I ordered from Blue Moon is the Iron Orchid designs from Prima molds. And so if you guys watched any of the CHA or any of the Prima videos, they've shown their molds that they're putting out. And these are actually, I think they said these were food safe too. But obviously I won't be using them for food. So here's kind of an example of what you can do. These are, you know, these pieces here are made with the molds. So this is a little craft somebody's put together. And so they're all pretty much like decor pieces, like for furniture or for altered items. And you can use clay or you can use resin, whatever you want to use, because these are silicone, I believe. So here's some more, and I got all of the ones that they had. They were $10 each. So that was Baroque 1 and Baroque 2. And then this one is Baroque 3. Oh, they're just named. They're numbered. This is number 3. And you can see this has got a lot of those edge pieces. And then there's a flower and another sort of medallion looking thing. And they're heavy. They're not, how do I describe it? If you guys have tried the Wilton molds, they're heavy like those. They're not like really thin and light. There's another one, and this one's got a leaf and some corner pieces, and then it's got a nice sort of tall, not tall, but end piece. I don't know if it's showing it. Here we go. So you can see it here. This is really nice. See how they've done this with an altered frame? So you can even use these on cards if you're using like air dry clay, which is a lot lighter than resin. That would make a really nice one, and you can then paint it. Here's another piece. There's a, see this little guy right here? He's holding like a flower or something like that. And there's an angel head right here. I think you can see the pieces if I hold it up like that. Okay. So there's quite a few on there. And then this one has a clock on it. And then some nice edging, which would be great for like a frame or a card or something like that. Or even an altered box. And then another flourish, and then this is a handle. This looks like a handle to me when you look at it this way. So here we go. So that's kind of what they did with that. You can put a knob on it after, you know, after you've made it. You can actually, once you release it from the mold before it's dried out, you can like put a hole in it, and then you can screw like a knob into it. So that would be really nice. For that. So that's what I got from Blue Moon Scrapbooking. And then I also got something from the Little Inker release, which was earlier this month. I got this new die set, which is wonky stitch lines. So you get 2 rectangles, and the inner rectangle actually cuts. So if you look at that, there's an edge right here where it cuts. The outer one does not cut. It just puts in those little wonky stitch lines. And then the circle ones are all just stitch lines. None of them cut. So I got this die from the release. And then the last thing I received was my HSN auto ship. This is the last one in the mink line that Anna Griffin put out from last year. And you guys have seen me show kits before, but Anna Griffin was the first one to come out with the paint and the markers. They have it for Heidi Swap now too. It's the same company. It's just a different branded name. So this is the paint, and they even give you a paintbrush. 2 of the months, or 2 of the auto ships had paint, and 2 of the auto ships had the markers. And you got 2 markers with each of the shipments, and you know, 1 paint bottle. So I now have the second paint bottle here. I have not tried the paint yet, but I bet it's fun. And then in the package you also get the foil sheets in the colors that Anna Griffin coordinates with. And then you get transfer folders, the smaller ones for her mink, because she has only the 6-inch one. And I'm going to keep this inside because I have brought my 6-inch one inside the house to make some palettes. So, oh yeah, so I didn't mention this. What I've done is taken some of the watercolor paper, which is 140-pound cardstock, run it through a the laminator, and laminated those sheets to make palettes. So that's what I made like 6 of them, so that each of the different watercolor mediums that I have, I can put one in each of the packages. I didn't show you that either. I'll show it to you. The glitter paper from Anna Griffin, you don't have this with the Heidi Swap Mink, so you can only get this on HSN as far as I know. And this has to be on setting number 5, I believe, and you run it twice. Look at that blue. That's a pretty blue glitter. So you can actually use the laser printed die cuts with the glitter sheets, not just the foil. So I have not opened this. Sorry about the rustling. But in the Anna Griffin auto ship, you get the toner sheets, which is also sold through Heidi Swaps, and you get the designs from Anna Griffin. So these are some card backgrounds or layers. You get 2 of each set. So, and then you get these nice die cuts. There's frames in here, and there's little flower flourishes, you know, Anna Griffin style, if you've ever watched her on HSN. And then there's some more here. This is probably like Mother's Day. They kind of themed them. So the last one was like, I think it was Paris and Valentine's related. And then this one seems to be like spring and Mother's Day. So that'll be nice. I have to make those cards anyway. So love you, Mom. And you get these die cuts and flowers too. So she includes a nice set of stuff in here that you can, you know, you can really only get through HSN and doing the individual purchases now. I think the auto ship is done. But that's my haul. Let me go show you what I also did. Okay, so this is my case for the Copics. It's actually a marker case I got with the class that I took for Copics. And I don't store my Copics in here because I have too many. They wouldn't fit. But what I did do is, here's the laminated piece of watercolor paper. Since it's 140 pound, it's pretty thick. And I just laminated, this is a 5x7 sheet of laminate paper. The piece of paper inside is a 1/4 inch shy of that. So I use this as the palette for when I'm watercoloring. So I will scribble some of the ink down here and then dip my paintbrush into the ink and take it to the paper. So that's how I'm watercoloring. These are my Spectrum watercolor inks, or pens. And the other thing I want to show you is that I did do a swatch some time ago, and I just made them into a book. So I used some, I did one for my clean color brushes too, but I used washi tape. This is cloth tape. This is the fabric tape. So if you've got fabric tape, I would suggest you use that instead of washi, only because it allows it to make it into a book much easier, because it allows the bend and it doesn't unstick. It's stickier than regular washi tape. This one only happens to have 3 pages because there aren't that many Spectrum aqua markers, and I did it so that I did the colors that are most similar to each other on one sheet, and I wrote the names of the markers here. So the reason you see 2 swatches is me coloring and then taking water to it, and also using the fine tip so I could see what it would look like on the paper. And of course, this paper in here is actually the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor paper, which I don't like. So I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm trying to use it up for other things. So you can see I put some more fabric tape, and that's what's holding it together. It's kind of the same construction as a flip book, I think. You know, but anyway, it works, and you can see there's a swatch of all the colors that are out there in the aqua markers. But I did this for the Zig markers as well, and I just keep it inside this zipper pocket with my markers, so that when I'm using my markers, I always have the swatch. And then I keep a palette for the markers inside the actual container because it fits in there too. This one's too big for the zipper compartment, so I just stick it in there and it stays in. But anyway, that's what I've done, and I hope you enjoyed this haul, some information, and what I've been up to. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.